Hello, I'm Super Orange Cat. Here I am. I just watched the Rick and Morty season 5 premiere, and I'm just going to give some of my thoughts on it. And I'll just begin with some of the stuff I really liked about this episode. And overall, I thought the humor was pretty good in this episode. For example, some jokes in particular I liked was the running gag of Mr. Nimbus, specifically his fixation on his name, and the fact that he activates his superpower by humping, which I thought was funny. And it's something they didn't completely overuse. It wasn't like every 5 seconds he humped the air for something. And when he did it, it was mostly plot relevant, which I thought was pretty good there. Like, for example, I liked how one of his specific superpowers was controlling the police, specifically where he made all the police officers have sex with each other spontaneously. I thought that was funny. And another one of the gags I liked in this episode was basically the whole thing with the whole lore of like the goat people on the other side of the magic door, the portal door that Rick and Morty used to store the wine for the negotiations with Mr. Nimbus. I thought that was pretty funny how it escalated from like, oh, just some like weird Animal Crossing universe to full on cyberpunk Falcon, like Metal Falcon thing, and like step by step how these people like specifically plan just to kill Morty, and they go through like these deeper and deeper plots that ultimately fail. Albeit the last time was only because Mr. Nimbus saved the day. And I thought that was pretty funny, specifically some of the gags regarding specifically that one time when they're like in the medieval era, where they specifically had all these catapults, all these like arrows and stuff fixated on the exact location where he used the portal, and how that plan still ultimately failed. I thought that was funny, and how they have like specifically these like training sequences and like this whole like, oh father, this person doesn't exist. You're lying about this for power, and then like after he kills him, all of a sudden Rick and Morty appears like, holy crap, he was right the whole time. I thought that was pretty funny. And it was one of those times it's like it's an extended gag, but it still worked for me, and I like that. Though one of the things I did not like about this episode was the, I guess, B plot of this episode, that being the whole Beth and Jerry deciding to have a three-way with Mr. Nimbus. It really, like, the it never really went anywhere. It's hard to say. It was really just like, oh, his assistant said, oh, he's interested in a three-way with you. And then they kind of just spend their screen time saying, well, should we or shouldn't we? And it's like just the same sentences said over and over and over again, and it goes nowhere. With them in the post-credit scene ultimately deciding to have a three-way, it was just kind of boring. And Beth and Jerry plots usually are one of the downfalls of the show, usually. And one downfall this show usually has that did not necessarily happen this episode was its focus on being meta. Like there was a couple meta jokes, like specifically the part towards the end when Rick's like, "Oh, I guess I have to Deus Ex Machina this." And really, instead of like some episodes in season 4 are just so dependent on being meta for the humor, it's nice to see that they decided just to go for standard comedy in this episode, which paid off, I thought, pretty well. If I had to rate this episode, I would give it an 8 out of 10. What do you think? What's your opinions on this? If you like this, if you want me to cover more Rick and Morty episodes, please like, comment, and subscribe. I'm Super Orange Cat, and that is all.